So we are discussing about the client creation, client administration. The main topic is client administration. We are discussing client administration. We are discussing. So in the client administration, we know how to create the client, how to create the client using the SCC4. We know how to create the client. So then after the client creation or before the client creation, there's a mandatory thing is the pre-work is logical systems creation. So the syntax for the logical system is so SID, then CLNT, and then client followed by client number. We need to provide it here. So whatever the client you are going to create it, same logical system you have to create it. Then we have to use the this logical systems, and we have to assign this logical system to the client here. So what is client? Why it is very important? That's we discussed it. What are the default clients? What is the client number we have to give it? That we discussed it. Right now, how to log into the newly created client here? How to log into the newly created client. Any client you created, right? Newly created client here. How to log into the newly created client? That is the main question for everyone, right? Why? Because initially when you install the SAP system here, so you have the 001, 000, the two clients here, but you created the new clients. Suppose example, yesterday we created the one new client, 100 client we created. Then which user we have to use it here? Suppose if you use the SAP star, then what is the password? Why? Because in the default password, whatever the password SAP star DDIC, that is only applicable in default clients only, not the your client, whatever the client you created, not in that client here. Then what is the client we have to use it here? What is the client we have to use it here? Right? So then what is the password? Sorry, what is the user and what are the passwords we have to use it for the this users here? Normally, when you create the new client, only it's empty. There is no data. Only you are creating the client, but there is no data here. There is no data here. Then in this case, how can we log into the newly created client here? That is the main question here. So to log into the newly created client, here, so what we have to do, we need to change the one parameter. We need to enable the SAP star. So we have to enable the, enable for the newly created client, we have to enable the SAP star with PASS is the password. We have to enable it here. So SAP star user with pass is the default password that we have to enable in newly created client. For that one, we need to change the, to enable this one, so we have to change the one parameter here. One parameter, we have to change it here. So what is that parameter? So what is this parameter concept here? So in SAP, we have the profiles and parameters concept here in SAP. In SAP, we have the profiles and parameter concept here. So that topic that we are going to discuss now here, profiles and parameters. Here, as part of the client administration, few other topics will come. Like same as like now here the profiles and parameters administration. Parameters administration part here. Parameter administration. So what does it mean by profiles here? Profiles. So SAP, whenever, like suppose example, so we have installed the SAP system, default SAP configuration came, right? Default configuration exists in SAP system here. But I want to change the default to the my own configuration. Then you need to change the parameters here, right? Parameters here. As soon as when you purchase the new mobile from market, then you will get the default configuration, default ringtone, default wallpaper, default image, default theme, default settings, default value, everything you will get default things, recommended default things you will get. But after that, as soon as you receive the mobile, what you will do? You will change your screensaver, you will change your wallpaper, image, ringtone. So everything you will amend it, right? So screen guard, everything you will change it to the your own customization, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? So same as like here also, SAP you will get by default, but later we need to do the some changes, our own themings, our own settings, our own like this many process we required, this many sizes we required, we have to change it here. For that one, we need to change the parameters in the SAP. All the configuration changes, everything it will be, we need to do the changes in the profiles and parameters. We have to perform it here. So even though if you want to log into the newly created client also, there is a parameter we have to change it. Then if you want to increase the dialog work process or BTC work process, if you want to change the password changes and the length and the descriptions, everything, we need to change the profiles and parameters. We have to change it. Parameters will have to change it here. So in SAP, we have the, so three profiles are available in SAP here. So one is the, application server profile here. One is the application server profile here. The second one is the ASS instance profile here. ASS instance profile here. The third one is the default profile. The default profile here. Here we have three types of profiles are there here. So these two are called the instance profile. This is the instance profile. But because application server instance, each instance there is a specific profile is available here. This is the instance profile. So this is the default profile here. Default profile here. Default profile here. The types of profiles two, right? So instance profile, default profile here. In the instance, we have the again two types, right? One is the ASCS. Why? Because you have the by default you will get the two instances, right? One is the ASCS instance profile. Second one is the application server instance profile here. What does it mean by ASCS? Means message server, NQ server. So suppose if you want to do any changes about the changes in ASCS instance, then you need to go to the instance profile. You need to adjust the parameters here, right? So here you have to change it to anything here. You need to adjust the instance profile. You have to adjust it here. So profile contains, profile is the one of the text file here. The profile contains parameters. Profiles contains parameters here. So if you want to do the application server specific settings, anything, you need to do the changes in the instance profile here. If you want to do the changes in the here, you need to do the instance profile. You want to do the default profile settings in anything here, then you need to change the default profile. You have to change it here. So where can we do these changes here in SAP level here? If we go to the RZ10 and RZ11 are the transaction codes for the profiles and parameters concept here. Profiles and parameters concept here. RZ10 and RZ11, right? So RZ10, why these two transaction codes here? One is for enough, right? Means, so if we go to the RZ10 here, so first of all, we have to we cannot log into the newly created client. That is the one thing here. Then go to the any one of the user here in the previous users, any one of the, so you can log into the any one of the user, you can log in here, right? I logged into the basis 001 client. Why? Because these profiles we can change it. Why? Because system wide profiles. You can log in from anywhere, any client you can log in. Then go to RZ10, you can go to here. Then you can see the profiles here, right? Profiles here. So profiles here, you can see it here. So we have the types of profiles, two types here. One is the default and instance profile here. So default only one, but instance we have the two. One is the application server profile. If you install the one more application server D13, you will get the one more instance profile here. So application server specific profiles and ASCS profiles. Suppose you want to do the some, so ASCS related settings like message server, NQ server settings, then you can go to the extended maintenance. then we can go to the change, then we can do some changes in this profile here, right? So suppose example, let me show you why, because here you are getting the two instances, that's why you are confusing maybe. Let me go to my other systems here.
Hey Ravi, as per my knowledge, I heard that you cannot make any changes to the central profile from the GUI. You can make the changes to the instance profile and the default profile, but for the central one.
This one we cannot change it. Yeah, we cannot change it anything. But just for example, I'm showing. So just for example, I'm showing. We cannot do any changes. Nothing we will change it in the ASCS instance. Why? Because message server and queue server. We cannot do any changes in the ASCS instance here. So
okay, just wanted
yeah,
that because
in the real time also we won't touch this CS profile. So we will keep it like this only. In the rare cases, if we want to enable the embedded web dispatchers or something, that time we will enable it. But here we will go to the just we can go to the OS level. OS level also we can change it here. Why? Because this we cannot change it from here. Just want to show in other systems. Other systems you see clearly. Why? Because in other systems we have only one application server here. So that's why you see the only one profile, one ASS profile, and the second one is the instance profile here. Both are the instance, right? Two instances you will get it by default. One is the ASS instance, then second one is the application server profile here. So that's why you have the two instances. So when it comes to the here you will see the difference is here we have the two instances total. Like one is the because here we have the two application servers. In NWD, we have the two application servers. So that's why we have the each application server, we have the dedicated one profile is there. Dedicated one profile is there. That is called the instance specific profile is there here. Instance specific profile is there here. Okay. So we can use, that's the difference here. That's why I opened the ECP here. Why? Because in ECP, we have only one application server. Then only one application server specific profile is there. One ASCS, one default is there here. Right. So two ways we can change it, the profiles and everything here. One is the SAP level, we can change in the RZ10 and RZ11. So, and second one is the operating system level. That I will show you. So that I will show you. But currently, just check in the SAP level here, how to change it here. Suppose if you go to the instance profile, right? If you go to the instance profile, then go to the extended maintenance. These are the administration data here. So here we cannot do. Suppose if you want to change the path of this one, suppose if you want to change the any settings, like this is some kind of settings here. So normally we won't do any changes here. We will keep it like this here. So here, just to go to the extended maintenance is our option here. Just click on the change button, right? Just click on the change button. Then here you can see the profiles, SAP system SID, instance numbers, right? Instance name, some specific parameters, how many, so dialog work process we have. The work process here, you can see here, RZ flash. So suppose all the profiles are available here. All the profiles are available here. Suppose RD/WP_NO_dia. I want dialog work process by default 10 you will get. I don't want to 10. Why? Because there is no much usage. I want to 5. Then you can decrease it, right? Same way RD/, then WP_NO_BTC. So this is the parameter. The value is of the parameter is, so now 6. I think we can make it 4. So like that we have the, so profiles and parameters are there. You can see it here. So now we have the dialog 10, right? I don't want to 10. So then now I want to decrease, or I want to 12. So I want to 10, whatever you want number, just you can change it. You can edit it here. You can edit it here. So you can change the value and save it here. Okay. Same as like anything, you can change it. Suppose, sir, what if my parameter is not there in the display profile here? Then go to create the profile here. Go to create the profile. Sir, I don't know what is the parameter. I know only one name. That naming convention means go to the browse mode here. Browse mode here. When you go to the browse here, you will get a lot of parameters in the system. I remember only, suppose like login. I only just put the login / then the parameters related login slash related parameters, you will get all those things here. How many? So password related, password length, password characters, special characters, uppercase, how many multi-GUI logons users, like session end, session disable, multi-GUI. So there is a multiple parameters. Depends upon the scenario, depends upon the issue. We may have to configure this parameter, right? We may have to change it here. So you can see by default settings are available. So if you want to change, suppose here see fail to use user unlock here at midnight. Suppose if user is locked, midnight it will be unlocked automatically here. If you want to set that parameter, you can set it out here. You can set it out there. Select it, then click on the 1, so 0, then 1. It will be automatically unlock it here. Automatically unlock it here if any user is locked. I don't want to change this parameter here. Just go to the here. Then any parameter you can change it here. Any parameters. You have a lot of n number of parameters are there here. So our parameter is to log into the newly. Suppose like I want to change the dialog work process. I want to minimize it here. Then what I have to do? Then I will go to the then I will go here. The parameters are available in the display mode here. In the display mode, it is available here, right? So I want to change the dialog work process 5, then BTC, then 4. I want to change it here. Then just on the copy, go back, save, copy, save, activate. So, but here, see here, for activating the profile, so it operates for you need to restart the application server. Basically, we have to restart the application server here. Whenever you are doing the changes in the RZ10, we need to restart the application server here. We need to restart the app server. So then only the parameter value which you changed, the 5 and 4, that will be affected. So that's why RZ10 parameter is the static parameter, static parameters. So which means you need to restart the system. Static parameters, you need to restart the application server, but this is permanent. This is the permanent values here. This is the permanent changes here, which means the value will be permanent here. Whenever you do the changes in the RZ10, so that is the permanent means. So here you can change the permanently here, but you need to restart the application server here. But RZ10, it's a dynamic parameters, dynamic values. Some parameters are restart required after changes. Some parameters no need to restart it. The value immediately affected. Those are the dynamic parameters here. Those are the dynamic parameters. Then this is the dynamic parameter. So no need restart. So then this is temporary only. Temporary means temporary only until you restart the app server, restart the system. If you restart the system, the changes will be gone. It will be reverted back to previous status. But so this is the, even though after the restart, before the restart, the value will not be impacted. After the restart, the value will be affected. Then, so the changes are permanent here. So the parameter changes are, it's kind of downtime activities. Downtime means you need to bring down your SAP system here. You need to bring down the SAP system. Suppose example, here I have changed the parameters like in the instance profile. In the instance profile, I have changed the parameters like 5 and 4, which means dialog work process I need. So 5 and BTC I need 4, like that I have changed it here. Then is it immediately changed here? Let me go to the here. Then if I go to the here, is it changed immediately? No, still it is showing that. So 10 dialogues and 6 background, it's showing here. It's not changed immediately, which means it's a static, which means we need to restart the application server. We need to restart the application server to affect the changes here. To affect the changes, we need to restart the application servers here. So here, for restarting the production systems, during the business hours is not allowed. During the business hours is not allowed. Only outside of the business hours, we have to do the restart of the SAP systems here. If you do it restart now, what will happen? all users will be logged out here. That is the downtime for users here. So let me do it now. Let me do it only one application server here. Why? Because I have changed it only in the one application server here, right? So if you want to change the other application servers also, we can change it here, right? Just go to right click on the SID. So suppose if you want to restart the application servers, then in the MMC, open the MMC, but right click on your applications. If you want to restart entire system, right click on restart it here. But I want to restart only on one particular application server, 10th application server. Right click and just restart it here. Restart it here, right? It is restarting here. Normally, there are multiple ways to do the restarts. So one is the OS level commands. If it is the Windows, MMC, and we can use it multiple ways. SAP control commands, we can use it here. So now SAP MMC here. We are using this Windows system, SAP MMC. If it is a Linux system, then stop SAP, start SAP commands, we can use it here. Okay. So let's see here, server is getting down now. Server is getting down now here. So after changes, what will happen? Your value will be affected. The value means, so whatever the value we have changed, like here, the 10, here 6, the value will be impacted here. The value will be impacted here. Now we have only one application server here. So let's wait to bring up this application server here.
Ravi, while you're waiting for this, do all the parameters come with the SAP install, or do we need to add as we need them?
So some parameters we have to add it. Suppose like ICM parameters. So few things we have to add it. By default, almost 90% parameters will come as part of the installations. Here we can see the, let me show you. So yeah, so we go to the here. Yes, it is starting mode. Suppose example, so not all the some parameters we may have to add it. We may have to add it here. It won't come some parameters here. So almost max parameters are available here. So maximum some parameters are available here. So it will come as part of the, so it's a maximum these parameters will come. So but some parameters we won't get here. There are thousands of parameters are there. So we will get from here our own parameters here, whatever the SAP is telling. So if it is the new parameter they are asking to set, then that we have to define it here, that we have to create that parameter here. Otherwise, we can just, they're asking us to create like, suppose like what I can say here, suppose like course for something like that, then this parameter is not there here. Then this just select it one, copy, then go back, then you can select it. Here it will came. So this is not there. So just I generally randomly I have given one parameter. This is not the correct one actually. So just to randomly I given. So here like this, we have to give the parameters here. Like this, we have to provide the parameters here. So like this, we have to provide the parameters. So do you want to execute this action? Yes. Okay, like this, we have to create the parameter. Otherwise, OS level, just add the parameter. OS level also, we can do that one, that parameter. So now, see here, system is added. Go to the 10th application server and see status here. See here, previously we have the 10 dialog or process. Now it comes to the 5. Here we have the 6. Now it comes to the 4, which means we have decreased. We have decreased. How you decreased the configuration? How you decreased and increased the configuration? We went to the RZ10. RZ10 is the parameter. Then we went to the here. Then we selected the instance profile. Then we went to the extended maintenance. Click on the change mode. Then here we have changed the parameters here. What if my parameter is not exist here? Here it is only display mode. So just go to the click on the create button. Then so if you know parameter name exactly, you can type it here, click on the enter, the value will be displayed. If you don't know, just click on the browse button. Then you can search it here. If you click it here, you can search it here. So log on. All right, log on slash here. So like that, you can search it here. You will get the parameters, number of parameters. You can check it out here. Suppose like log on related parameters. So server restriction, update the log on timestamp frequency. So something like that. If you want to change it, you can change it here. So same as like suppose I want to, suppose example, I want to log into the newly created client. How can we do that one? So our main topic is how to log into the newly created client. Maybe we told that we have to enable the SAP star. How to enable the SAP star here? Here, so the login slash so no underscore automatic underscore user underscore SAP star equals to, so one, we need to keep it here. We have to change this one to the one. So just to copy this parameter, if you don't know this parameter also, okay, just go to the here, just browse it here, maybe just to enter the syntax here, SAP star. Then you will get the one parameter here. See here, login slash no underscore control of the automatic login of the user SAP star here. So by default, the value is 0 here. Now you need to change it to the 1. 1. 1 means it's allowed. 0 means it's not allowed. It's in the numeric. So it's not allowed here. So just keep the 1, copy, go back, copy. Now parameter will come to the here. 2 times you need to do the copy, back, save, activate. So then, but we have to restart the application server. We have to restart the app server here. That is the one thing here. Same way, only one application server profile, you have done the changes here. So you can also do the changes in the other application server, right? Other application server here. So just to go back to the here change mode. So then here, what do you want to change? I want to change the, I don't want to 5. Why? Because we don't have much users, right? Then we can just change it to the 3. So why? Because it will reduce the some memory usage of the application servers and everything, right? So if you increase it, it will eat the more memory. If you decrease it, it will release the memory. So we have the systems will be very fast here. So dialog 5, BTC 3, I increased it. Then what next? What other things I have to do it here? So then if you are okay, then fine. So otherwise you want to edit this parameter as well here. Login slash no underscore automatic parameter also here. Then if you know that parameter, then slash no underscore automatic underscore user underscore SAP star. SAP star. So you have to correctly type it here. And then the value will come. Select change it 1, go back, copy, 2 times copy, go back, save, then activate. Activated. Right? Parameter activated. Means which immediately you are not authorized to log in. Immediately cannot log into the system. Why? Because it's a static parameter. So you need to restart the system here. You need to restart the system here. You need to restart the system. Then only the value will be impacted. The value will be affected here. Entire system I am restarting here, right? Including ACS also I am restarting. So it's not required ACS. Just we can restart the application servers only. That's fine, right? So like this, we need to restart, change the parameters, and we have to restart the systems here. Restart the system here. See here, application server is shut down.
Can we change this parameter in the default profile, or does it have to be the application?
Yeah. So few things, few parameters that we have to change it in the default as well as instance profile. Few things, few parameters here. So few instance specific related, that's fine. We can change it in the instance profile, that is fine. But few things we have to change it. But it's very difficult to find out which one we have to change it in the default. Means all the default settings, related parameters in the default profile. So, but instance specific, instance related parameters are available here. But some parameters, suppose like example, if our parameter, our login slash parameter, that is, we have to change it in the default as well. Default parameter also we have to change it here. So now that is also we have to change the default parameter, but sometimes it's not required. That's what I'm testing now. Let me, sorry.
Instead of instead of changing into multiple application server profiles, if we just change in the default profile, would
Yeah, that is also
resident
fine. Yeah, that is also fine. But few parameters we have to change it in the both the places we have to change it. Few. Not only default, instance specific also we have to change it here few. So now we have not changed it in the default. Let's see.
The other question I have, Ravi, is if we are changing the SAP Star not a login thing, will the initial password of SAP Star in client 00 and 001, will that be the same, or can users log in with two passwords for the same user?
No. That is same password. Why? Because the passwords are for the only for the newly created client. Created client. But suppose if 001 SAP Star, so I have during the installation time I set the one password. So I can log in with that password here. So this password is only for the accept default clients, other clients. It is only for the other clients. You can log in with the SAP Star with the password here. Password here. You can log in. So now let's see here. So SAP Star, then just I'm trying to use the pass. So it's not allowing. It's not allowing here. It's not allowing here. Why? Because in the default profile, I have not changed it here. In the default profile, we have not changed it here. So this is the one example here. So only few are we have to change it from the, so only instance profile, few we have to change it from the default also here. So in this case, so few specific parameters we have to change it in the default and instance also in the default profile, as well as instance profile also we have to change it here. So here they set it to the 0 here, but they have already set to the 0. It should be 1. It should be 1. Even 1 is 1, we have to set it to the 1 here. Same as like, I think it's a 0 or 1. Let me check here. We have to set it to the 1. So then in the default profile, so it's already changed to the 0. So then you can just change it to the 1 here. So then copy, go back. So save it. Now if you restart it, the value will be affected here. The default profile parameter. So what about the RZ11? Everything we are doing in the RZ10. What about the RZ11? RZ11, here also the parameter values are available here, but only few parameters. Only few things are changeable mode. Those are the dynamic parameters. So RZ10, RZ11 are the profile parameter changes. So depends upon the profile. So if you want to change it permanently, you can do it in the RZ10, save it, restart it here during the out of the business hours. In the RZ11, if you want to change it in the RZ11, so you can check the status whether there is static parameter or dynamic parameter here. Just to go back here, maybe let's check the parameter value here again. Login slash. Let's see here why we are changing only this parameter here, right? So then no underscore automatic parameter value. Click on the display mode here, right? So click on the display mode here. You can see here in the default profile, it is the 0, then it is the 1 and 1 here, right? So it's a default profile in the which in each and every profile in the default profile, it was set to the 0. In the instance profile, it is 1. So then, so the control of the automatic login. Here we cannot change it. Why? Because there is no change mode here. There is no change mode of this parameter here. So normally we will get the change mode of the parameter, then we can change it. That is the dynamic parameters here. So not all the parameters are dynamic, not all the parameters are static here. So how to check which parameter is static or which parameter is dynamic parameter? So dynamic means you no need to restart the system here. Dynamic means you no need to restart the system here. It is the temporary only until you restart the system here. The value will be affected only until you restart the system here. But RZ10 is the permanent changes. You need to restart the system here, right? So here, so here you can see that the parameter, when you enter it here, there is no change value here. Change value means sometimes, suppose if I take the, so one parameter here, some gateway related parameter, secinfo parameter, ACL underscore mode. Yes, you can see here change value. Yeah, the change value is coming here. So just you can change it to the 0, then the value will be impacted. But so changes made in all the instances. But you see here warning, changes are not permanent, will be lost after the server restart. During the restart, it is a dynamic switchable. If it is the dynamic switchable means the parameter value, the change value is coming and it's a dynamic switching means the parameter is the dynamic value. Without restart also the value will be affected. The same parameter you want, by once you restart the server, the value will be become 0. Once you restart the server, the value will become previous status here. The value will be changed to the previous status here. So it will come to the, now it is 0. The current value is 0. After the restart, it will come to the 1 status here, which means by default status, it will come to the here. That is the gateway parameter value. So not all the parameters, only few parameters. Few parameters are the dynamic switchable here. Few parameters are the dynamic switchable parameters here. Those things we can change it here. Those things we can change it here. So we have the 3 systems are installed, I guess, our guys. You can see each and every system, we have the number of dialog work process are there. It's not required. You can decrease it. Not required. Why we need this many work process here? Right? So unnecessarily it will consume the system resources and everything here. So it's not required. You can reduce it. Same concept in the every system here. It's the same concept in the every system. You can do it here. Okay. So normally why we are discussing this profiles and parameters concept means to log into the newly created client, we have to change the one parameter value. We have to change it here. But to change this parameter, we should know about what is the parameters and profiles here. These are the system settings here. All the system settings will be located in this profiles here, right? If you change the profiles, inside of the profiles, you have the parameters here. If you change the parameter value, system settings will be changed here. Not only work process related parameters, not only work process related things here. So buffers, memory usage. So many things we can change it here. Many things we can change it here. So now we can see, now we can log in with the, so you can see you can compare the parameter values here, how it got changed here. So suppose I think we changed it in the, so here we change it to the dialog work process to the, so 5, so 5 and 3. Then here also we have changed the dialog work process from 5 and the background work process to the 4, something like that. We have changed it. The value is impacted here, right? So then whenever you go to RZ10, RZ11, the ACL mode we change it to the ACL mode we change it to the 0, right? So but see, it came to the again 1, means it's a temporary value. It's a temporary value only. It's a temporary value only. Means if you restart the system, the value will be lost. We will lost the, so we will lost the parameters here. We will lost the parameter. Why? Because we lost it. Now the change is active. But when you restart the system, it will become 1. Then parameter will be disabled here, right? So few parameters are dynamic, few parameters are static here. How can we say which one is the static and dynamic? Means go to the RZ11, put your parameter name here, click on the display. If it is the dynamic switchable, the value will be the dynamic switching. That is the dynamic parameter. No need to restart it here. You will get the change value here. If it is not the dynamic switchable, suppose example, take the one more example here, just click on the display mode, then you will see the, here there is not the dynamic switchable. There is no dynamic switchable option here, right? There is no change value here. So it's not the dynamic switchable option here, right? So now you can log into the, let's see here how to, now yesterday we created the 100 client. Then what is the user? We said like we need to use the SAP star with the pass, we have to use it here. SAP star with pass, we have to use it here. So what is the other clients we created? Let me check. I think we have to change it to the 0, I think. We already changed it to the 0, not the 1. So let me see. RZ10. Yeah, we have to change it to the 0. Same value we changed it here. Means we have disabled actually the parameter value, we disabled actually that one. So let me take it to the, immediately I will change it to the, one, 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 and 0. Default value is 1. Change it to the 0, 0. Go back, save, activate, activate, activate. Then let me change, I changed it in the default value also. Default value also, it's 0 actually. It's already changed. I made it to the, okay, I changed it here. Now let's restart again.
Is it possible to reset the password for SAP Star and DDIC in the client 000 and 001 if we don't know the password?
Yes, we can reset it. We can log into the other users. Maybe other user we can log in. Maybe some other user you already created, right? We can log in and we can change it here. So even though if you are unable to log in, so then we need to unlock the, we need to delete the SAP star user. We have to delete the SAP star user at a database level. Then we can log in. We can log in with the SAP star with pass. Then we can change the passwords. That's possible.
In client 00 and 001.
Right.
Okay. But we don't have any parameters for that, right?
Yeah, we don't have any parameters. Only enabling the SAP star user with the pass in the newly created clients. The clients which you created newly, that we can enable it. So, but so for change password reset, that we don't have anything. We have to delete that SAP star user, then delete option. Then we have to change this parameter and restart it. Automatically SAP star with pass we can log in. Then we can change the password of the DDIC user, other users we can change it.
Okay.
Here restart is required, definitely restart is required here. Let me go to here. And as soon as, if I just click on the log on option, it's connecting status. As soon as dialog workflow is available in any case, immediately you will get the SAP screen here. You see, got the SAP screen here. So then just to go back here, maybe what is the client, 100 client with SAP stars, maybe PA, SS pass. So now you are able to log into the newly created client, right? So how we got it? We changed the parameter value from, so 1 to 0, we changed it here, right? The default value is 1. Now we are able to log into the newly created client. So many clients we have created, same way. So we can just log into the, so any client we can log in. So once you change the parameter one time, other clients also can be log into the systems here. Suppose example, if you go to the SCC4, and see how many clients we have here. Suppose like we have the so triple one, right? Just log into the triple one. Then SAP star, then PASS pass. Then here I am able to log in. Previously, I am unable to log in. Now I am able to log in. Why? What is the reason here? So I have enabled the automatic login procedure here. Means enabling the SAP star with pass password here. For this one, we need to change the one parameter value here. Equals to 0, we need to set it out. Then so we can log into the newly created client with SAP star with the pass. Newly created client, we can log into the systems here. So this is the very important client, very important change. So for this one, we need to go to the RZ10. Why? Because initially for the newly created clients, we don't have any users here. So we don't have any users here, no data, nothing here. Then how can we log in? So SAP given there is an option, enable the SAP star user. Then after that, you can create the new users or you can pull the data from other clients, whatever you want, you can do it. But here password changes, we can perform it from the, here we have to do it here the profiles. So here the profile concept is the profiles and parameter concept is like changes of the system default settings here to your own settings. We can change it here as per the scenario. We can change the value. Once you've done it, once you are able to log in, just to create the one user, dummy user, or you can pull the users from others. I will tell you doing a security point of view. You can create the other users. Then we can we can copy, we can pull it, whatever you want, you can do it. So then we can disable the SAP star user. So for now, we can keep it open, the SAP star user here. So just what is the profile we changed here? So that so here this is the profile we changed it here, SAP star. So no, it's equal to 0. We kept it here. The default value. So here it is the 0, 1. Then we made it to the 0 to log into the SAP star with the past user here. So here you will get the history here. Who changed what? At what time they have changed here. So basis user got changed to the first one. Then later, so later before that we changed it to the 0, then 1. So like that, there the multiple changes are happened in the systems, right? The history, the comment box, we can get it on the who changed what. All the information we can get it out here. In the value place, we need to change the value here. But don't change this default values here. Only some custom parameters we have to change it. Suppose if you change this value to do 21 to 20, what will happen? System, it won't start. Okay. So only few things we can change it here. Default settings, we can keep it here. Why? Because when the SAP is starting, it will always check these parameters here. When you are starting the SAP system, it will always check the parameters here. To always check the parameters here. See here, always check the parameters. SAP profile, the parameters will refer the parameters here. When SAP is starting, it always look the parameters. Whether the parameters are for legs, for how the legs are very important for us. Same as like parameters are the same for SAP systems here. Without this parameter, system will not start. Right? Maybe I can say backbone. It's kind of backbone for the SAP system. The parameters are very important here. Without this parameter, system, it won't start. Right? That is the one thing here. Okay. So try to do some parameter changes. I will give you the list. You can perform some parameter changes, then restart it. Then you will get the experience like how to change the parameters and how to restart the system. Like that, you will get it out. But before you do the restarts, check in the system, already anyone is working in the system or not, check it out here. If no one is working, then restart it. Why? Because someone already working. Anyhow, you have the other systems also in place. You can see here ND1, NWP, we have the systems are in place. We can use it. If you go to the AL08, you will see how many users are logged in with here. Then, so what is that application transaction code they are using? All the information will be displayed here. All the information will be displayed here. You can use this one. Okay. So this is the way we have to log into the newly created client. Yesterday we discussed about the client creation. Then today, how to log into the newly created means we have to change the one parameter. What is the parameter? This is a parameter. So entire parameter administration we discussed here. So what is mean by difference between the RZ10 and RZ11 means? This is the one of the important question. What is the difference between RZ10, RZ11? RZ10 is the static and RZ11 is the dynamic. RZ10 is the changes are permanent. Here it is not the permanent here. So it is the static, it is the dynamic. Like that, the three words you need to remember here. So types of profiles here, instance profile and default profile here. So anything you want to change it, the system configurations, you need to go to the profiles and parameter administration. Then RZ10, you need to change the value, you need to restart it. So check whether before you restarting, we need to get the downtime approval, or we have to align with the our management saying that we are going to restart the system. Developments are okay, fine. But production, when you are going to do the production restarts, so carefully we need to plan in the weekends only. That's why sometimes we need to perform the weekend activities like restarts, parameter restarts and everything. Okay, so I will give you some parameters. You can change those values as per the recommendations. So that you will get the experience here. Okay.